Easterfest 2014. Easterfest Cafe, presented by Churches of Christ Queensland.
I'm with the boys here from Those Who Endure, and we probably need to start first of all. Who's wearing what onesie suit? Because I personally love onesie suits. Let's start with Jace here.
Well, it's the TARDIS. It's
Well, it is
Doctor
the
Who.
TARDIS.
If anyone doesn't know Doctor Who, I'm very sorry for you, because it's amazing.
Jump on the Facebook page, start talking to Jace.
Yeah.
He'll help you out now. Doug, what onesie we got here?
I'm just a standard gorilla.
Of course.
I mean, just rough and tough. I'll knock you down.
Why'd I even ask? And we got Caleb here. You are, well, I won't give away the secret. Who are you?
As you can see, the magical unicorn.
So if anyone has been looking for the magical unicorn, you've heard the mythology. We've got it right here. You can.
He's been in Those Who Endure all along.
There you go. Yeah, even when he wasn't, he was. That's how they roll here. Now, Pete, tell me a little bit about how the weekend's been for you guys. You guys have done a few shows. How'd they go?
Well, this is actually our 5th anniversary at Easterfest. We're very honoured, incredibly humbled. We've had some radio interviews. It was actually Caleb's just joined the band 2 weeks ago, and he's he's feeling surreal.
Yeah.
Which fits the unicorn sort of
Yeah.
suit. Just need to pop that back in.
So we're all kind of feeling a bit like we're not actually partaking in it, participating at all. We're just kind of watching it happen. So like last night we released our single, and we headlined the metal showcase over at the Powerhouse. So
Now, we do need to say what genre of music. If people aren't familiar with your band, what's the genre of music?
the most easy way to put it is metal. We've got other subgenres of metal.
Yeah. Because there's so many, aren't there?
Yeah.
Different subgenres.
Incredible amounts.
Now, what's that like as far as being, here we are at Easterfest. I've looked at some of your music, some of your lyrics, and really quite heavily drenched in sort of Christian way of seeing the world.
Yeah.
What's it like being in a heavy metal band with that no argument of saying, yep, we're Christian?
Well, there's opposition, but in all honesty, what we have to do is bring excellent music. You have to bring an extra level.
Yeah, right.
Even as far as possibly trying to go even more in professionalism, honesty, integrity, and musical skill as the other bands in the scene. So, because that's the way that they're going to notice you. The way to open doors to people's hearts is not to just stand on the stage and scream or preach at them, because quite honestly that's going to turn a lot of metalheads and a lot of hardcore guys off.
So let's go there. Well, what is it like for, what's the response you get from, because heavy metal is not, when it started out, not traditionally, you don't think heavy metal and think Christian. So how is people that aren't Christians that hear your music, how do they receive your music, those that are in the heavy metal and don't know Jesus?
We've got promoters who quite honestly hate Christianity, are trying to promote us.
Wow.
And
cool.
that's a huge honor. Like, these guys are like, when are you wanting to release your CD? Because we're going to do a physical release, and they're like, we're trying to get some confirmations on venues and stuff like that. So it really comes down to how you treat them first, because for them they're also on guard too. You know, they're on.
How do you mean on guard? What do you?
Well, they've got shields up.
Okay.
Or I guess just walls up where they're like, we don't want to let anyone close to us unless they show us respect.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So if we show them respect and that we're not just going to shove it down people's throats, then they open up. And quite honestly, it ends up being those people who start conversations about God.
Well, what's it been like for the rest of you guys, like coming into, obviously going, this is a genre I love, and then going, well, do I want to be a part of a Christian sort of band that's in this genre? Because how is that going to be done well? You know, like how's that been for you guys jumping on board?
I know I actually, this is really the first Christian band I've actually played in.
Okay,
wow. I've been a Christian for, it's been 8 years now.
Yeah, sure.
But I played in a lot of secular music.
Yeah.
And I played before I played metal. I played in a mainstream kind of pop rock band, hard rock, '80s covers bands.
Yeah, sure.
And the latest one when I joined these guys, I was playing in a funk band, real originals, but really
Awesome.
smooth funk.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I always loved listening to metal. I loved the technicality of the drumming
Yeah,
in
okay.
metal. It was always challenging, and that's what I liked. And then I actually saw these guys' ads in a newspaper. And
Wow.
actually, sorry, in Rave magazine. That's right.
Okay.
And I just responded to it. And coming into this, it's great because I love the fact that we're in a sense we're going right to the edge of the mud and pulling people out. We're not.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
sure.
we're not safe. We're not being in a place where we're comfortable. Particularly,
Yeah.
there's alcohol, there's drugs, there's things all around
sure.
us
Yeah.
in the back rooms and things like that
Yeah.
that can happen. And we're in there trying to influence people. I mean, we've even got to the point where we've been asked by some promoters not to preach on stage specifically,
Huh.
which
And
I
now
think
this
is cool.
during the song or just in breaks that you're talking about?
No,
Even before we get there, they
Okay.
ask us. They know that we're Christians,
Yeah.
and we're okay with that.
What are they like afterwards then? Once they see you perform, have they gone, oh wow, that wasn't what I expected, or?
Well, the message is in our lyrics anyway, and the harder thing is one-on-one when you're talking about faith. It's easy to stand on stage and say, you need this and you need that, but when you're face to face with someone, it's very different, and it's more of a challenge. But if anything, as the name would suggest, I love a challenge, because I know who's on my side, and I know who's really winning the battle for their soul.
And for the rest of you, as far as coming into a heavy metal band and that Christian and going, well, how's this going to be done? Is it going to be done well? Like, what's that journey been like for anyone else that wants to comment?
Well, pretty much this is the first band I ever been a part of.
Yeah,
I
sure.
pretty much just my sort of musical journey started when when I came to youth and I'm just watching the youth band play and stuff, and that's what turned me on to wanting to play bass.
Yeah, cool.
So pretty much like out of all the instruments, I pretty much looked at bass and I'm like, I want to learn that.
Yeah.
So pretty much until I joined this band, I only played in the youth band and a church band and a young adults band, and I don't per se as much as these guys just listen to metal full on. I like sort of like have a varied range.
Yeah, sure.
So like I like a bit of indie stuff, just a bit of stuff, acoustic stuff,
Yeah.
alternative stuff, but I like the technicality.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
I play the stuff like when I listen to my other bands that I like, they give me like the influences I need to sort of pick things up, but
Yeah.
it's nothing's really at the technicality that these guys go to, and that's really like because it really helps me to push myself further and further. So that's really what edged me on to joining this band. Like pretty much, I was at church one day working in the cafe doing what I do, making coffee.
Making coffee.
Love
Good coffee or?
I make great coffee.
Okay, that's a pretty big call. I actually
So-
want to test that out later on, but I don't know where we'd go to test that out.
That's
But,
a true story.
There is a coffee machine though behind this
he's
tent.
he's
so
made
we
me a
don't-
coffee.
let's hijack one.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
we'll see what we can do.
He has.
We're going to make you a nice coffee.
Yeah.
A
Awesome.
nice coffee, not an iced coffee, a nice coffee.
Now, tell me about where does the motivation, the creativity for your lyrics, because they are very drenched in that sort of human struggle and biblical ideas as well.
Yeah. It really comes from well, as a Christian, we know where our strength comes from, and where our help comes from. And in personal turmoil over the last couple of years, I have faced things that have tried my faith to the very brink. And in all honesty, there is one consistency, one and only one. My friends have been here for me, no holds barred, but there's one consistency who was there when everything felt like it disappeared.
Wow.
And that is my Saviour, Lord Jesus. And
That's cool.
so my lyric comes from I believe God's given me a gift for poetic nature and maybe metaphorical way of using things, and I like the dark nature with metal, so I like being able to write from that perspective.
Yeah, sure.
And I really like challenging lyrics, especially when we come to places like Easterfest. There's Christians, and we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
know
good.
that God's saying, get out there. There's people who need what you've got.
That's great. And because how has that been like reaching a demographic or a people that are in a lifestyle where maybe the average Christian would go, if they saw that person, would go, I might just jump over the other side of the street. Like, how
Yeah.
have you found reaching them? How's that going?
I mean, I try to be approachable. Humility plays a big part. Not trying to be a tough guy.
Good deep voice though. Good
Yeah.
tough guy voice though.
Yeah, tough
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Just it doesn't matter. Like, these guys are happy for like, as you can see, these guys have got a great sense of humor. Like, and I love it. I would not have them any other way. Like, there's times where we get serious and stuff, but it makes people pay attention when you've got a kindness, something that they don't see, and people have said, oh, I thought you were different.
Yeah.
So to make yourself approachable is a big thing, and learning that for myself, I've learned a lot through reading through Proverbs to become a man of good character.
Yeah. I find that fascinating what you were talking about before about, being in the darkness and dark world. And as you were talking, I'm like, you know what? If you're in that sort of darkness and dark world, the light's going to be even brighter to them. Like your comment of, oh, there's something different about you. Like that would be magnified, I would imagine, maybe.
Well,
even
you've
more.
essentially just said some of the lyrics from one of our songs called "The Half-Hearted," which is a demo from 2012.
Boom. Good bloke.
And it's pretty much like God has called us to be the light in the dark places, and sometimes we hide in the light, and we're shining our light within the light. For instance, we just stay in churches sometimes. We do.
That's good.
And sometimes it's comfortable. And then other times we might not shine our light at all or try and hide it like Jesus said. But we need to go into the world. We shouldn't be saying the world has to come to us and we sit in church, because in all honesty, church is a counterculture that they don't understand. They have to come and be transformed from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of light to understand that.
I love that idea of a light within a light. Like
Yeah.
that's a pretty insightful statement. Tell us about what you've just released and what's going on here with the shirt, the graphics
so
you've released.
This is just our hoodie just here.
That's the new album as well, is that?
Yeah, new single.
Single, okay.
That's okay. It's The Sweetest Poison. So we've recorded two new songs, the main one being The Sweetest Poison, and we've done these drop cards,
Sweet.
which give us the chance to release it digitally, and then it works like an iTunes voucher. You go to a particular website, on the back it has the website and a particular code that's unique to each card, and you can download whatever we upload to that, which includes like the high quality versions of the songs, including The Sweetest Poison, and the B-side Unravel These Fibers. And then we've put the demos up from 2012, The Half-Hearted and Toxic Hubris. So as far as The Sweetest Poison is concerned, the lyrics to that song I wrote in 2007, and it's been a big thing.
So it's just been sitting there percolating, and you're releasing it.
Yeah, till I felt that it was. I just knew that God wanted me to hold on to it, and I was a little precious about it because I wanted the music to be in the right place.
And if people want to get a hold of your music, where should they go to as far as a website?
Yeah, so you can just hit us up on Facebook, www.facebook.com/thosewhoendure. We've also got a Twitter. You can contact us like that. We're keen to have a chat with anyone if you've got troubles. We're keen to pray for you.
Sweet. I love that. So you hear that Facebook group, Those Who Endure. Go check it out. You can find the link to their music and their lyrics and hear more about them. Thanks, boys, for sitting with us in the cafe and having a chat. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
not a
you.
problem.
It's a huge honour.
Awesome. See you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.